We're going to call to order the May 16, 2023 board meeting for the Competitive Edge Charter Academy. If you wouldn't mind standing and ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will point out that all board members are present this evening. And 1.04 is approval of the agenda. Are there any changes to this agenda?
No.
Okay, hearing no changes, do I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So, second.
I have a motion by board member Cook and a second by board member Debbie Miller. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. The motion passes unanimously. Now we're moving on to recognitions. We have the superintendent for a present recognition for the Grizzly Parent Squad and Math Intervention recognition.
It's that time of year when Mr. Reed puts together some items for him to share with us that are all about celebratory things. So Mr. Reed, would you like to come to the podium and recognize your team Grizzly? And then we do have some certificates at the end.
Right, President Snellings, members of the board, Superintendent Binks, members of cabinet. I'm actually going to get a little help tonight. I'm lucky to be surrounded by very, very talented people that are all about kids. And when challenges arise, they're all about finding solutions to those challenges. So a challenge we had is we had large numbers of students who could really use intervention as we return to school in the areas of reading and mathematics. And so I'm lucky to have Dr. McLaughlin on staff as our teacher on assignment. And when we sat down together and thought, how are we going to approach this problem so that we can provide intervention within the school day? That was the key, consistent intervention in the school day. So I'd like to invite Dr. McLaughlin up to share a little bit more about how we went about doing that.
I am so excited to brag on all of these ladies who have done such an amazing job with our kids this whole year. So I'm just so happy. Talk all about them.
Sorry. I'll do better.
So for math intervention, we have used the Virgin Numeracy Project. And it's a free program, and we have two teachers who have worked with our students, and they're about 25-minute sessions. So our TK teacher and our TK aide have done that, and the kids absolutely love it. I was a little nervous about it being a free program, like it might be boring and things like that. The kids loved it. So every time I meet with any kid that is in math intervention, I ask them how they like it. Every single kid said that they love it. They can't wait to go, except one student. And when I asked her why, it was because she was missing science. So we switched her time, and now she's not. So everybody really likes it. And some data to go with that. So I took our STAR scale scores, and of all of our students in grades 2 through 5, they've gone up an average of 50 scale points this year. But our math intervention kids have gone up an average of 65 scale points. And I think that says a lot that our intervention kids are growing at a faster rate than our general population. So that was definitely worth writing about. And then I just got some pictures here of our kids in their groups. So we've got a big mat and the kids jump and skip count on that. A lot of our kids, even our 3rd and 4th grade kids, they have trouble counting forwards and backwards, even up to 20 and 30. And that's more count from 6 to 18. They can't do it. So that's what we worked a lot on this year. So we've just got some pictures. And then our parent squad. So Mr. Meek, in passing one day, came to me and he said, what if we had a parent squad? And they worked with some students. Okay, so it has grown into this huge thing that we're super proud of. So here we have 6 parents in our picture. We actually have 7 who are a part of it. They all work on reading with our students, mostly on sounds, phonics. Some of them use the Haggerty program. They use decodable books. They manipulate letters and sounds. And Mrs. Tucci, actually, our reading specialist, she's the one who trained them. So we pulled them all in. We trained them with what we wanted them to do. And it's been a really positive experience. The students love it. The teachers have all said amazing things about them. I've gone and seen each of them teach. They're just wonderful parents that are doing great things with their kids. So then I've just got some pictures of each of the groups working with their moms there.
Oh, it froze. There we go.
They're just all so happy and they're so excited. I love it.
Oh my gosh.
Another slide.
Yeah, sorry, it's going super slow.
So we have a certificate of appreciation for each of them. So we're going to call them up, give them that, and then take a picture. So
I'd like to invite the board to come forward, to also honor our parents.
Super slow.
So our, for the math intervention, we had Marcy Oxandavor, our TK teacher. Tanya Evans. For our parent squad, we had Mrs. Sanchez. Mrs. Churchill. Mrs. Boca. Mrs. Bean. Mrs. Mercado. And Mrs. Collins.
One, two, three. Thank you.
Congratulations.
You know, I must say, this is really what parent involvement's all about. It's just not showing up on campuses. It's actually rolling your sleeves up and working with our kids. And it's just wonderful that you've taken the time to do that. And we can see that it's had a positive impact. So I just want to say that. Thank you so much for giving your time to our kids. Any other board members have any comments or anything?
If they had that when my kids were little, I would join that. I love that. I love it when parents are there helping not only their own children, but others. I appreciate you guys so much, and teachers.
Yeah, thank you for the teachers for kind of driving this too.
Oh,
and assisting
absolutely.
the parents.
I love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. That's good stuff. Okay, now we're moving on to public comment.
We do not.
Okay, we're gonna go on to the advisory committee report. Mr. Gregory, welcome.
Evening, everyone.
Uh,
All right, we met about a week and a half ago, I guess, it's here. Pretty short meeting only because a lot going on at the school. 6th, 7th, or 7th, 8th graders going to Catalina. Everyone's going everywhere. But main thing our focus on this was, and we're meeting actually in next week, I believe, kind of a middle meeting there, was just reviewing the LCAP slides for our progress on where we are from our 4-year plan that we're in our 3rd year, I believe now. Just went over what's there. I know there's some other to be determined stuff in the LCAP funding, those type of things, but just making sure we're kind of on point and making sure we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. We also then reviewed just our survey language that we sent out to not only our family members, but the California School Employee Association and the California Educator Association on letting them review that LCAP and what they had questions. So brief and short, and I guess we're going over all of our survey results, I believe, next Tuesday. So more to report on the final meeting. So
All right, as usual, thank you for your report. All right, we're gonna move on to the consent calendar. Changes to this, do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar as it's presented?
I'll move to approve consent calendar as presented.
Okay, got a motion by Board Member Bob Miller, a second.
I'll second it.
Second by Board Member Bannister. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye, the motion carries. Now we're going on to additional administrative information. Mr. Mead or Ms. Banks?
Just wanted to thank the families who are here tonight. It's hard to capture in pictures and in a short presentation how much effort went into everything that they've done for our kids this year. They definitely had a huge impact. And for Dr. McLaughlin to put that all together, swag bags and rolling carts and everything they had a positive influence on a ton of kiddos. So thank you guys so much. Thanks for being here tonight.
I'd just like to add, there isn't a time that goes by when we don't visit CECA and we go through like the quad parts or the inner parts of the classrooms. There are always parents there working with students. And then the great thing about it is the teachers are always working with the parents. So the kids are getting it's full. Their cups are full. So it's really impressive. And I know that there's a lot of family work that gets done on Make a Difference Day. So it's not just a single point in time, it's all year long. And so thank you again for all the efforts that you do to work collaboratively for the kiddos.
Okay, great. Now we're on Board Member comments. Board Member Cope.
Yes, just to reiterate the importance of your involvement in not only your own children's education, but providing a positive experience for those throughout the year and jumping up 65 points is pretty amazing. So great job. Thank you so much. We truly appreciate you. And then Marcy and I didn't catch you. Tanya, thank you so much for spearheading that. I see that. The kids look happy. It's great. I would love to go check it out.
Board Member Bannister.
And I would reiterate that you're saving so much grief from down the road that we wouldn't catch up to the kid until they're in junior high. And just that alone is a huge impact. So thank you so much. And I know the people that volunteer are busy people because those are the kinds of people that volunteer. So thank you for finding time in your schedule.
Thank you, Sharon. Board Member Debbie.
Thank you again, like I said before, and to have a wonderful year end. I know there's lots of activities and enjoy, and then just enjoy your summer. I think this is
Board Member Bob Miller.
Yeah, again, congratulations and thank you for your service. I know it's from the heart and it's with love, and that's the best way to serve. That's the best reward you could have. But thank you, keep up the good work, and good to see Joe out there with his school at the cancer walk, and you had a very good turnout, and thanks for making me walk a little extra. I appreciated that, but it was good to see how you represent your school very well, and I just think great reputation. I love the advisory comments that we get at our board meetings, so just keep up the good work. You got a good thing going there. Good job.
Okay, that's That's it. Thanks for coming, everybody. And we're going to adjourn and we'll come back for a regular meeting in a couple of minutes. Thank you. We're adjourned. 16, 2023, and Cuyahoga Mesa Joint Unified School District, regular Board of Education meeting. I could ask everybody to please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I will note that all board members and our student board member are present this evening. 3.04 is the approval of the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda, Ms. Biggs?
Yes, thank you, President Snellings. I'd like to have the board consider pulling item 9.25,
Okay,
which will be brought back to next meeting.
so we'll be pulling. Okay.
Thank you.
I would move approval of the agenda minus item .25.
Okay, I have a motion by board member Bannister. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Got a second by board member Bob Miller. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'll vote aye. It passes unanimously. There is no report out from closed session, so we're going to skip that. We're going to go into the fun stuff. We're going to start with Ms. Binks and I believe Ms. Crane related to the Yucatecala Mesa Educational Enrichment Foundation Teacher Grant Awards.
Yes, it is my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Kathy Crane, who is the president of YC, Yucatecala Mesa Educators Enrichment Foundation. And this is a great foundation that was started about 9 years ago, I believe, 9 or 10 years ago. And it continues to build. There are ways for people to donate, but I'm sure Mrs. Crane's going to tell us about that. But tonight it's about teacher scholarships.
Right, thank you. Thank you, President Snellings, board members, Mrs. Binks and cabinet. Thank you for having me tonight. We all want to celebrate teachers all year round. As a happily retired teacher, I'm telling you, it's good. Hang in there. All right. Our foundation raises money to give away to give to teachers. And we really enjoy the giving away part. The asking is a little tedious. And so I left a little love note for all of you right in front of you, a little payroll deduction form. Mrs. Bannister contributes monthly, Mr. Miller, Mrs. Binks, but you can always up that a little bit. And you were talking about volunteering earlier. Everybody on my board are volunteers. We just get the fun of getting together and doing this, meeting people in the community, going to school sites. So we love you to think about donating to us. And of course, teachers, we have quite a few teachers and classified members that also donate via payroll deduction. And we always will take a big check anytime you want to write it out to YC, we'll take that. The last week, my partner, Linda Putnam, another happily retired teacher, we were out hitting the trail and handing out money at school sites. And we really like to do that because we get the teachers excited for their colleagues. And last year I put a little heat on everybody because we didn't get many applications. This year they listened to me and we got a few more. So I was happy to see that happen. Last Friday, a week ago Friday, we were at Calamasa Elementary School and met with a principal who was so happy to be back to work after 100 years of jury duty. Anyway, we gave 2 grants to Calamasa Elementary. One to Jenny Kelsey, and she's doing a project, an school-wide art project to put student art on their fence. And I know they're getting new fencing, and I told them they got to figure out how to hang it now because that new issue. She's not here tonight because her daughter is graduating from law school. So, yeah, congratulations to her all the way around. She's also part of a 2nd grade team with Miss Hartjoy, Miss Rocha, and Miss Albert. And I don't know if any of they are here tonight. No, they're busy people too. They're doing a Space Force project. and a team-wide second grade, and we told them when they're starting to shoot the rockets, they need to call us because there's nothing more fun than watching kids with rockets. All right, that was Calamasa. Then this past Friday morning, we started bright and early at Valley Elementary, and in the fog outside, did a project or did a presentation to all the students and the staff were there. And our grantee is David Domena. I think he is here tonight. Mr. Domena here. Already cashed the check. And he's doing it. Well, I'll let him talk a little bit about what he's going to do.
Yes. Hello, I was not expecting to do this. We are going to get golden hoodies for students, and if they get a yes vote from every staff member, then they will get one of the golden hoodies. So it's going to be a very exclusive group. They'll be able to wear it around campus. You can take it on the middle school, and we're trying to push more for 4th and 5th graders, so they have something to look forward to. They're not bored with school, but great. Okay.
All right. So that was a fun morning. Then at noon, we went to Chapman Heights Elementary. And Miss Deanne is here, I saw. And they also got 2 grants at their school. I did put a lot of heat on them last year because they did have a grant winner last year. And so they have Mrs. Priscilla Martin and Antoinette Villardis. And they're not going to be here tonight. They are doing a Mother Goose character camp project. And both of my grandsons went to Chapman Heights, and they both had Miss Villardis, and they were both in this play, not as kindergartners, but it's a really good program, character counts. And I loved it, and it'll be fun to see kindergartners doing that. Chapman Heights also won a grant, again, Antoinette Villardis and Bill Zanoni, I don't know if Bill's here, for their robotics team. And one of my grandsons was also big in the robotics. Their program's great. From there, we changed jacket colors and went to Dunlap. And one grant to their kindergarten teacher, Brittany Provencher, I don't know if she's here, and she's doing a STEM project with kindergartners also. So hardworking teachers working for kids, and we're happy to support them. So you can fill out those forms, and you get them to Stella. I'm sure she'll take care of that for me. Right, Stella?
Right.
Yeah. Just walk them over to payroll. All right. Any questions about our program? Or we're getting more and more out in the community. I know in the past they have just given the grants at the board meeting, but I like going to the school sites because I want the teachers to see that we're real people, real money, you know, cash the checks, and it works. So thank you very much.
Kathy, we appreciate your time and effort, and I know it's something that is passionate about it. You don't have to do it,
No,
but you choose to do it. And that
damn
makes-
Jack Brennan. It's his fault. Anyway, sorry.
All right. Anyway, thank you for all that you do, and to put money in the pockets of teachers to help our kids is a good thing. So thank you very
You
much.
bet. Thanks so much.
Okay, now we're moving on to 4.02, Business Services Summer Feeding Program.
Thank you, Mr. Snelling. I'd like to introduce Ann Van Dam, our Director of Child Nutrition Services, for a short presentation on our program this summer.
Hey, Ann.
Hi, everyone. So good evening, Board President Schillings, board members, Superintendent Mrs. Binks, and cabinet members. Well, I am so excited to share with you a brief history of our summer feeding program in the parks. There's a little cute, knock of our and fun of our program's name, and you'll understand it in the next slide. So we get this, it's actually called a seamless summer feeding option. So our other name is obviously way easier to understand. So the single summer feeding option is a program that's offered by the USDA. It is through the National School Lunch Program. And it's designed for districts just like us to give us an easy way to go outside of school district and feed our kids in locations in our communities that we serve. And it's really quite easy. All we have to do is find a facility that is within the boundaries of our schools, in which they have at least a 50% free and reduced of meal eligibility. And that's all we have to do, except we have to find those facilities. And once we do that, we're able to accept all children who are 18 years or younger. We also are able to provide persons over 18 years of age if they are mentally or physically handicapped and participating in a public or private nonprofit school program. So thank you, USDA, and thank you to the city of Calamasa and the city of Yucaipa. Next slide. Because they're providing us our parks to feed out of. So believe it or not, we started this endeavor in 2016. That seems like yesterday, and then it also seems a little bit like a lifetime ago. So in 2016, we were able to form an alliance and partnership. We, every year, we have some challenges, some benefits, but all in all, over the average of all those years, we serve 270 children every day through the weeks of the school, of the summer. We also learn a few things about, after all, we want to feed kids lunches that they love. So we learned during the hot summer what meals and entrees to provide them with cold, fresh fruits, vegetables, obviously ice cold juices and milk. We also learned that in order to have the kids really enjoy their lunch, families really appreciated activities. So we partnered with the cities, we partnered with the county school student nutrition programs and other agencies. And we learned that if we provide fun activities, the families enjoyed it, and it also improved our participation. And the next slide will show a few of those fun times. So we did everything from art classes to physical activity. Golly gee, we did things like rethink your milk, rethink your drink from the county of superintendent of schools come out every week to all 3 sites. I should review that the schools of the park sites that we would go to are 7th Street in Yucaipa, Community Park in Yucaipa, and then 4th Street in Calamasa.
Yay.
So a small shout out to our nutritionist, Liliana Montenegro, who also worked very, very hard reaching out to all of our partners for these activities. So a complete review, Winnipeg needs to also include some of our challenging times as well, right? So we all remember back in the summer of 2020, we couldn't even go into the parks. I think they were basically closed off. And our services, our child nutrition department, expanded our services to provide meal boxes to our community families through the now famous curbside program. And while doing that, we were able to, I think, meet the needs of the community in an extensive way. Then let's look at the summer of 21 and 22. Our district had an audacious fee to provide nutrition recovery plan. So all of our school sites were open to our children and our students to increase their learning capacity. And what we did is we provided lunches to all of our school sites during those 2 summers. And believe it or not, it included all of our labor for our employees that wanted to work during the summer. And at that time, we were also hit with some supply chain issues as well, getting enough product that the kids enjoy to eat. So with that, lack of labor, feeding at all of our school sites, some supply chain issues, we didn't have the ability to go into the parks. And for that, we were very sorry for a few years. But you know what? That was yesterday, and this is today. And now we're back in the parks. So, so yes. Well, July 21st, we will be at Calamasa 4th Street from 10:30 to 11. I'll see you there. Or we'll be at Yucaipa Community Park between 11:30 or 12, or we'll see you there. All right. So it's very simple. We hope we don't have as many activities planned in the past, but I'm sure we'll get there. And the next slide. So we really want to thank again our partners, the city of Calamasa, especially City Manager Will Cobalt from the city of Calamasa, and from the city of Yucaipa, City Manager Chris Mann, as well as our other partners. Riverside University Health System came out so often and helped us with a variety of different activities. San Bernardino County helped us. And then the San Bernardino County Superintendent of Schools has a tremendous nutrition education program, and they were out there every week. So those were our outside partners, but a special thank you goes to Linda Molina. I know you're here somewhere. There she is. You're gonna stand for me, Linda.
I didn't want to lose my seat and fill out the speaker's part. So thank you for letting me speak.
So, thank you. So Linda, oh, good. Well, so I just went, welcome. Thank you. So I did want to share with everyone, you may already know this, but I'm going to spend a few moments. So Linda's out there every single Monday through Friday, all 4 years. She helping my staff, helping the families, and we had these wonderful partners, but Linda also went to the library, and so they'd have story time. She also went to the fire department. I'm going a little bit on memory. She went to get Bob's big boy coming out, correct? And I'm pretty sure I missed a lot, but she'll bring her own books, her own coloring books, her own activity books for the families, and every single day. And it's been such an honor and fun. It's been super fun to work with you all of these years, and I'm only looking forward to this coming summer as well. So I really appreciate your dedication to our mutual program.
I just want to say, I appreciate the earlier time. It's so warm in Calamasa. And so we have a 10:30 lunch. So I have fun Fridays where we do hula hoops and paddle boards, and the kids all get little trinkets. They think they're gold, but they're really not. But it's, sometimes that's the only meal the kids are going to get. So it's fun for parents to have a break, and I'm just so grateful to be part of this program. It's a wonderful program. I enjoy it thoroughly. I'm trying to get my Lions stuff to get in there too. I had to, the Marine wife that I am, I had to overcome an adapt because the library is not going to come and reach the kids during the summer. So I had to dust off my library card, and so I can get ready to check out books, and I can read the kids myself. So, and I wanted to introduce you to our new city manager, Will Cobalt. He's a great part in addition to our city, and we'll be working together like always. Thank you so much for having me.
Mr. Coble, thank you for coming this evening, and Ms. Molina, and thank you for your partnership with us on our feeding program, and also the city of Yucaipa. And we really do appreciate you being here and supporting our kids. Thank you. Any other questions or comments?
I'd like to say something. I'm not surprised. Linda Molina is doing that. She's amazing. Volunteered for many, many years, and I love that you do that. I'm going to come visit you.
Okay.
All right.
10:30.
10:30.
Thank you.
And Ann, thank you. We are very proud of our nutrition program in the Yucaipa Calamasa Joint Unified School District. Very proud.
Very good.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Now we're moving on to educational services, the counseling team presentation on the hatching results program.
Thank you, President Stallings. I'd like to invite up Executive Director, Mrs. Burkhart, who's already making her way. Thank you. And some of our district counselors.
Good evening, Board President Stallings, board members, superintendent Binks, and cabinet. It is a great privilege and honor to introduce and celebrate our school counselors this evening. Over the past 2 years, our counselors have participated in the Hatching Results Professional Development Opportunity. Working in collaboration, our counselors have engaged in the important process of building a deeper understanding of and implementing a district-wide, multi-tiered, multi-domain system of support across all grade levels in TK through 12. Tonight, we would like to share with you a little piece of the important work our counselors have accomplished together under the direction and support of Melissa Lafayette from Hatching Results, the Assistant Director of Transformational Partnerships. And at this time, I would like to introduce to Michelle Torres from Dunlap, Taylor Brand from Calamasa and Valley, Brittany Persett from the high school, and Cassie Smell, along with Melissa Lafayette, to share with you some of the exciting things they've done this year.
Okay, great. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you so much, Leslie. Okay, so for our agenda this evening, we're going to introduce our team in just a moment. We're going to talk about our department data, educate the role of a counselor, school counselor versus guidance counselor. That used to be the terminology prior. Our delivery of services, we're going to have a small video on MT and DSS. And what does it look like in YCJUSD at elementary, middle school, high school, and alternative education? So if you are in the audience and you are part of our YCJUSD counseling team, please stand up and show your allegiance. We have an amazing team. Okay, so we're going to first start off with a fun little game. Are you guys ready? Okay, here we go. So here's our first question. How many school counselors are currently employed by YCJUSD? 18, 24, 32, or 45?
I'd say 32.
And the correct answer is 24. But guess what?
That's what I meant.
Well, guess what that means, Mr. Snelling? That means they're room for growth, right? Yeah. Okay, how many classroom lessons have the school counselors taught this year? 542, 857, 1,286, or 1,944?
I know the answer.
Okay, does anyone else have an answer? Yes, here we go. So yes, the correct answer is 1,944. Kudos to my counseling team. Carousel Lace, which Carousel Lace is our outside counseling services referrals to connect our families to additional counseling services in our community, have been made by school counselors this year. So we're at 45, 98, 102, or 156.
We're kind of cheating a little bit because the answers are on our computer, so. I didn't mean to out everybody.
Well, thank you for being honest. Okay, the correct answer is 156. Okay, so we're going to take a short journey showing a quick video of what a multi-tiered, multi-domain system of support is. Using our 3 tiers and our 3 domains. As school counselors, we have 3 domains: academic, college, career, and social emotional. So as educators, you know the framework of multi-tiered system of support, and we're going to drop you into this little video and show you what it means to use a multi-tiered, multi-domain system of support.
As educators, we're familiar with the multi-tiered system of support, or MTSS, which focuses on students' academic and behavioral needs. But for school counselors who focus on 3 domains, academic, college and career, and social emotional development, we need a more robust system. We need a multi-tiered, multi-domain system of supports, or MTMDSS. In MTMDSS, school counselors ensure that all students receive the instruction and support they need to grow academically, develop socially and behaviorally, and to prepare for post-secondary options. In this system, Activities, instruction, and intervention services are grouped into tiers, ranging from Tier 1 services, a core program of universal supports that apply to everyone, to Tier 2 services, or targeted interventions, which would typically only apply to approximately 20% of students. And finally, to Tier 3 services, intentional interventions, which would typically apply to between 5 and 10% of students. MTM-DSS provides a data-driven approach to determine which of these levels of interventions or tiers are appropriate for any individual student. Under MTM-DSS, Tier 1 encompasses agreed upon services that all students receive, such as standards and competency-based school counselor core curriculum lessons, individual student planning, which includes 4- and 6-year academic and post-secondary plans, and district and school-wide agreed upon activities and events. Tier 1 is designed to be comprehensive, preventative, developmental, and proactive. Tier 2 is designed for students who are exhibiting barriers to learning, struggling academically, or are deserving of additional supports. It uses data-based decision-making to select at-risk indicators such as attendance, behavior, credit efficiency, and post-secondary readiness data. Targeted intervention data elements, grade levels, and timeframes are queried to determine which students qualify for interventions. Depending on the student, Tier 2 interventions may include short-term individual or small group counseling, progress monitoring, consultation, collaboration, and referrals to resources within or outside the school building. Tier 3 services are designed for students experiencing emergency or crisis response events, or to support students with needs that remain unresolved within Tier 2. School counselors provide short-term, solution-focused counseling, consultation, and when appropriate, referral to additional resources. Over time, MTM-DSS allows school counselors to spend more time implementing proactive Tier 1 action plans and less time engaged in reactive Tier 2 and Tier 3 activities. The ultimate goal is to ensure all students achieve their greatest potential and graduate ready for post-secondary success. Hi, this is Tripp.
Okay, hi, my name is Brittany Persons. I'm from Ukaipa High School. Okay. So following this national model mentioned in this video, our district is aiming to create a comprehensive school counseling program across all of our sites. By doing so, our counselors have made the shift from guidance counselors to school counselors. In the past, guidance counselors had stronger focuses on academics and college readiness. However, school counselors, we address social emotional learning and career readiness as well. Also, by following this model mentioned in the video, school counselors can be proactive versus reactive in our interventions. And we use data, which is very important, to inform our decision-making and evaluate the effectiveness of our interventions. Lastly, school counselors collaborate with educational partners such as parents, the community, and the district office to provide equitable support to all students. Most importantly, school counselors play a critical role in helping us achieve LCAP goals. LCAP stands for Local Control and Accountability Plan. So for example, goal number 2, close the identified achievement gap by providing targeted additional support to meet the needs of students who are not meeting standards in the core instructional program. This directly coincides with the academic domain that school counselors focus on. Goal number 3, increase the number of students who complete career technical education pathways through the completion of a capstone course. This directly aligns with our other domain, college and career readiness. And lastly, goal 5, implement measures to foster positive school environments and support students. This aligns with our social and emotional learning domain as school counselors.
I'm Taylor Brandt. I am actually from Valley Elementary and Calumet Elementary. So now that you know a little bit more about our MTM-DSS, which is our multi-tiered, multi-domain system of supports, we would like to take you through some examples on different strategies and interventions that we use at each of the 3 different tiers. Okay, so kind of like the video explained, at Tier 1, we have more of a proactive and preventative approach that services all students. So by doing that, we actually do classroom lessons. And within those classroom lessons, we have what's called our second step curriculum. And that includes things like empathy, problem solving, and sometimes career readiness. And also we have our Character Strong curriculum that highlights different traits like courage, respect, and honesty. And also we have a lot of career readiness classroom lessons that we implement as well. We also have our A through G classroom lessons that we supply to all of our students. And we also have our CECA, which stands for California College Guidance Initiative. And that's our program that helps students explore college and career different opportunities. And lastly, counselors definitely support school-wide activities such as a really fun Kindness Week and College and Career Day.
I'm Cassie Samuel from Parkview Middle School. For Tier 2 interventions, YCJ counselors provide small group counseling with topics of academic, behavior, and social emotional. We provide individual counseling, check-in, check-outs with individual mentors, peer and conflict mediation, and college and career workshops.
And then lastly, tier 3. This is the most intensive of tiers, typically for the highest need students, so it's a lot fewer students. This can include at-risk one-on-one individual counseling meetings for students that might not graduate on time, or just even at all levels, students that are receiving multiple F grades. It also includes referrals to outside agencies for students that may just need additional support in terms of therapy, but it also can help families get family counseling. And most importantly, I think it's important for the board and all of our guests here to know, every counselor in this district is trained to be on the crisis response team. And this is critical when our community experiences a crisis or a difficult event, where the counselors can be deployed in different teams to really support the kids and their families during difficult times.
All right, so as a counseling team, we actually do really prioritize using data to drive our student interventions because we really want to be intentional and effective. So what we'd like to do is take you through some different types of data that we've used to analyze the effectiveness of our program. So for example, at the elementary school level, we've actually administered a pre and post test both before and after teaching a second step lesson on using rethinking when feeling a strong emotion. And the post test showed that there was a 15% increase in the percentage of students that were able to use rethinking when feeling a strong emotion, which is awesome.
At the middle school level, counselors conducted a pre and post test before and after giving presentations on high school graduation requirements to our 8th graders. We found that the percentage of students who feel confident selecting classes that will satisfy graduation requirements jumped from 89.6% to 95.5%. We also found that the percentage of students who feel comfortable with the move to the high school next year jumped from 82.3% to 87.7%.
At the high school level, we make sure to introduce freshmen to the different linked learning academies that the high schools have, as well as CTE or career technical education pathways. And we found that after teaching them about these different pathways, there was a 221% increase in their understanding. I thought that was a typo, but it's definitely just a huge increase in letting them know what they can potentially do after they graduate. We also make sure every grade level gets some attention. So with our seniors, we wanted to make sure they felt confident using californiacolleges.edu. This is a site that helps students identify degrees or trainings in the careers they're interested in, and schools or trade schools or colleges that offer it. And we saw a 38% increase after administering this lesson.
Okay, so as you can see after our presentation tonight, that our YCJUSD counselors definitely make a difference. So by building a comprehensive program and going through this training with hatching results, we've been able to adhere and make sure that we're following the American School Counseling Association guidelines and model. We can make a positive impact on our students, families, and community.
So thank you again for this opportunity. We greatly appreciate your support and all that you do for us as school counselors. And a special shout out to Melissa Lafayette from Hatching Results for helping support us.
I'm kind of blown away by how systematic and thorough, not just the presentation, but how you deal with the kids. And it feels to me like we're less likely to lose somebody in the muddle of day-to-day school, and I really appreciate that. My kids went through Cuthbert High School, and I thought they had great counseling back in the day, but this is awesome. Thank you.
Anybody else? I'd like to think, I mean, usually when you think about counseling, you don't think about data historically. And so I really appreciate the tables that you showed us with the pre-test and the post-test and the differences that you made with our kids. And certainly post-pandemic, their kids need help. They need support, and I really appreciate what you're doing. Some of the best days of my career was as an elementary school counselor. And so I really just appreciate and know what it takes to support kids. And so I want to thank you for doing that. And as Ms. Bannister said, it's very comprehensive and very, very impressive. And it takes a real concerted effort to make the difference in the lives of our kids. And so thank you for doing that. Okay, thanks. Okay, now we're going on to recognitions, and we're starting off with Human Resources, our Child Nutrition Services recognition. Mr. Stoll.
Thank you, Board President Snelling, members of the board, cabinet, and Superintendent Binks. Just took a water, now I know it's not making sense. So it's only fitting on a night where we recognize the summer feeding program, that we also recognize the amazing work that our Child Nutrition Services team does. Some of you may know that May 5th is considered School Lunch Hero Day. And for those of you in elementary, or maybe not in elementary, there is a wonderful children's book that recognizes that work. So what we'd like to do tonight is to individually recognize those members of the child nutrition team who work tirelessly to provide thousands of meals to our students every day. So I would invite the board, if you don't mind, to come on up, and what we're going to do here is we're going to read off and invite up the names of that team. It's important to realize the team, it includes the child nutrition workers at our schools, but it also includes some of the behind the support staff. We have a driver, we have a nutritionist, we have a director, we have a manager, we have a caterer, we have a whole team of people that contribute to these meals. We wanted to take some time to recognize them. So when your name is called, if you could please come up. Look at all these things. Now, please recognize some of these folks work really early in the morning. So we're going to call their names, but if they're not here tonight, that's okay, because they got breakfast to serve. So in alphabetical order, if I can invite up Juanita Aldover. Juanita is one of her first days of work. Mariah Albertson. Maria Angelo. Valerie Burrow. Amanda Chapman. Cecilia Sam. Alejandra Diaz Moreno. Tracy Doden. Cynthia Bauer. Debbie Freeling. Robin Dolindo. Cheryl Godoy. Joshua Gonzalez. Latrice Gordon Daye. Stephanie Hainsworth. Elizabeth E. Duran. Alyssa Howard. Kelly Jackson. Jeff Youngnickel. Kelly Kearney. Alex Laredo. Anna Madrid. Alma Martinez. Natalie McNichol. Haley McGee. Lydia Mejia. Kelly Mitchell. Liliana Montenegro. Candice Morales. Jennifer Morton. Jennifer Noah. Lori Owens. Katie Fletcher. Donna Resendez. Joelle Reeder. Ashley Villa. Lenia Rock. A lot of people. Cynthia Sandoval. Shelley Skinner. Sandra Turb. Nancy Uribe. Carla Vargas. Janet Weldon. All right. While they're getting, we're going to have to take their Kodak moment. Mr. Bradley, you get that picture.
Absolutely.
Congregate in the middle in front of us.
All right, can I get everybody to go in the middle? There's a fun spot between the two. Big smiles. 1, 2, 3.
Let's give these heroes a big round of applause. Thank you. Don't get too comfortable.
Okay, now we're moving on to 5.02, Human Resources School Site Teachers of the Year.
It's only fitting on a night of celebrations that we also celebrate our 13 school site teachers of the year. I can tell you a little bit about that process and what that means, and then we'll definitely recognize that group. So just so all of you know, each of our 13 school sites have a process where they select a member of their teaching staff that just stands out as a leader and a powerful educator on their campus. And what we do is from that pool of 13 individuals, those who so wish to put their name in the running for the county-wide teacher of the year. By the way, it's a very lengthy application, so for those of you who've seen it, thank you for doing it. Anyway, those 13 will have the opportunity to go on to county teacher of the year, and perhaps even on the state teacher of the year. So that's the future. Also among this group of 13, there will be a district-wide Teacher of the Year in a separate process. We'll talk with these 13 individuals at that time. And that honoree, that huge award will be announced at the district kickoff at the beginning of the next school year. But what we'd like to do is I'm going to ask the board, if you don't mind, to come to the front. And I'm also going to ask each person to come up, and I'll read some amazing, remarkable words about that person, and you can really get a sense and a feel for what makes them really ready for this honor. So we're going to go in alphabetical order by school. What does that mean? That means Calamasa is first. So let's invite Amanda Pullinger. So Amanda's going to stand and listen to some nice words about her. So it says, Amanda is a newer teacher, but upon walking into her 4-5 combination class at Calamasa, you would never know that she has only been teaching for a few years. Amanda is a dedicated and caring educator. She clearly loves her students and goes above and beyond to support them in any way needed. For example, she's taken time out of her personal schedule to attend events that her students invite her to. Her students listen to and respect her. She wants to support their academic growth, so she worked hard to understand and implement the standards for 2 separate grade levels. She's a natural at ensuring that students stay on task, behave respectfully, while providing them with a safe and fun learning environment. Amanda Pullinger has instilled such positive behaviors in her students that other staff have noticed. Our cafeteria staff share that her class listens very well. It's one of the best and most respectful groups when they are inside the cafeteria. That's a big deal. She is an amazing teacher and has a great class because of it. We are so proud to recognize Amanda. Congratulations, Amanda. All right, from Chapman Heights Elementary School, let's invite up the other Amanda, Amanda Parisi. Right. Amanda Parisi is not just an amazing, engaging teacher to her young students. She's a go-to leader on our staff. Ever since she arrived at Chapman, Amanda has been committed to being a leading team member. She was one of our first Chapman Heights staff members who was CERT trained. That's emergency response team training. Another important thing. Whenever there is a need on campus, you can count on Amanda volunteering her time to lend a hand. And she embodies our school motto, which is together we can. Amanda is also a leader within her grade level. Last year, she led her first grade team as 2 new teachers joined that group. She advocated for her grade level to gain access to materials that would provide the best foundation for reading to the young students at Chapman. Amanda steps right up to the challenge. She's flexible. She serves our school in so many capacities beyond her role as a teacher. She's also a true educational professional, dedicated team member, a champion for all students, and a technology leader. She always has a positive attitude toward all aspects of her job, even when special circumstances arise. She's the epitome of a great teacher in person. Mrs. Parisi is bound to make many more contributions to education throughout her career. We're going to kind of hold you to that. It says here, right? We are so blessed to work with Mrs. Parisi. That is why she is our Chapman Heights Teacher of the Year. Congratulations. All right, we have a Dolphin who's also Teacher of the Year, Sarah Cleary. Come on down. So Dara is our amazing PE teacher at Dunlap. In that role, she serves every student at the school. She's the perfect example of a kind and fair teacher. She pushes her kids to reach their goals while also understanding that each student is different. She has a heart for every student. She goes above and beyond to work with all staff and teachers. She teaches creative lessons and focuses on the whole child. Dara is extra patient with students who may be struggling. The Dunlap staff truly appreciates how she holds our students to a high standard while also giving them well-deserved praise and recognition. Dara is our Teacher of the Year because of all that she embodies. Thank you, Dara. Okay, so if you're keeping score, it's Ridgeview next. Sherry Fountain, come on down. don't know if she was able to make it, but we are still going to read these important words unless she's down the hall. Maybe not. Sherry is a teacher of Ridgeview, like I said. Sherry has 32 successful years teaching, all as a Ridgeview Roadrunner. While Mrs. Fountain's focus has been kindergarten and first grade, her work has made a long-lasting impact on Ridgeview with every class that she teaches. Each fall, Mrs. Fountain welcomes a fresh group of children into her classroom. These students come from different backgrounds, have different experiences, different strengths, but they all come with an anticipation about what school is going to be like. Each year, Mrs. Fountain doesn't disappoint their anticipation. Students leave her classroom at the end of the year successfully engaging in meaningful mathematics, reading for enjoyment or knowledge, and communicating their thoughts and ideas in writing. What's more, Mrs. Fountain has been doing this thing we call teaching so well for so long that she's now teaching 2 generations of students. Congratulations on being this year's Teacher of the Year at Ridgeview. Let's give her a round of applause. All right, this individual was here earlier today cashing his check. Valley Elementary School, let's welcome up David Domino. Put it away now. David Domino was nominated by his peers at Valley as their Teacher of the Year. David began his teaching career at Valley in 2018 as a 2nd grade teacher and then transferred into the STEAM teacher position he now holds. In addition to being a rock-solid teacher of science, David is a teacher who goes above and beyond to meet the social emotional needs of our students. It's exhausting to try to keep up with him. But when he's asked why he does it, he simply states, it's good for kids. Student leadership is a large part of what he instills in his students. He teaches and mentors them to be the best they can be, whether he's leading the amazing shake. Amazing shake. Do you want to show us? No? Okay. Leader Patrol, Drum Club, Friday Flag Mentoring, or the Secret Society of Readers and Writers. Not so much of a secret anymore. Each of these activities reaches a diverse group of students who benefit from the dynamics of being on a team. There are only a few of Mr. Domina's high-quality attributes. You have to keep up with him to really see how much positivity he brings to campus. Congratulations, David. All right, from Wildwood, Wildwood Hawk, let's invite up Lindsay Gilson. Wildwood's Teacher of the Year is well-deserving, well-liked, and everything. Lindsay Gilson came to Wildwood unexpectedly, but her resiliency, flexibility, and positive mindset allowed her to start each year with gratitude and strength, the same 2 things she gave her students and her colleagues each year. Lindsay has taught most of the primary grade levels of Wildwood. She brings this broad, rich experience to her position as Wildwood's teacher on assignment, making her a powerful and versatile and valuable resource for Hawk students and staff alike. Currently, Lindsay's duties are too many to count. The students she has touched are too many to count as well. In so many ways, she provides the glue that keeps the school operating. Her positive work serves as a strong reminder that all educators are meant to help others, students, families, and colleagues. Thank you, Lindsay, for showing the Hawk family how it's done. Congratulations. All right, we have a grizzly bear in the house from Competitive Edge Charter Academy, Ingrid Villalobos. So Ingrid Villalobos is an amazing teacher. When she arrived at CECA weeks into the new year, her students had already welcomed 2 different teachers. Since that tumultuous time, Mrs. Villalobos has made the move back to kindergarten where she truly shines. Her ability to remain open-minded, even in the most challenging times, is an inspiration to her coworkers and a great example for her students. There's always a way to solve a problem, and she will not stop until a solution presents itself. As a collaborator, Ingrid shares her thoughts and ideas, but she is always willing to hear from others and to celebrate others' successes. During student meetings, Mrs. Villalobos is always prepared with data to present as well as anecdotal notes to provide context for families as well as options for support. Her professionalism and grit truly put families' minds at ease. Her abilities as a teacher are only surpassed by her heart for kids. Congratulations, Ingrid. We graduated to middle school. So let's invite the Mustang in the room, Mr. Paul Kane. Paul Kane is a multi-talented individual with an innate ability to connect with students. He makes his students feel valued, appreciated, and inspires and motivates them to achieve their full potential, not just as musicians, but as human beings. When Mr. Kane took over the music program at Mesa View, we had 7 students in the program. And that's true, I was principal at the time, you're 100% right. The music program has since grown to over 163 students, and more are projected for the 23-24 school year. This remarkable growth is a testament to Mr. Kane's dedication and talent. Under the guidance of Mr. Kane, the school band and choir have achieved astounding success and prestigious awards, gaining recognition for their outstanding performances. Since 2018, his students have been accepted for audition into the San Bernardino County Honor Band more than any other middle school. Mr. Kane embodies the qualities that all educators desire to have. He is so deserving of this recognition. And all Mustangs, we are all proud of him. Congratulations, Paul. I think there's a music thing because Parkview Eagles sent us their music. All right, Steve Stockman has been a teacher at Parkview since 2009. Has been teaching in the district for 15 years. That's a long time. He's compassionate, dedicated, and engaging. He's truly an advocate for all students every day. Mr. Stockman finds ways to connect with each of his students in the classroom and makes them feel connected to our Parkview community. He's one of the first teachers to volunteer to help out with numerous students for our PBIS system. He's always one of the first to offer support or a helping hand with students or other issues. He's an active member of our leadership team. He's one of the first on campus in the morning and one of the last to leave in the afternoon. Mr. Stockman is a problem solver who offers solutions that are student-centered. Parkview is extremely lucky to have Mr. Stockman as a part of our Eagle family. Congratulations. All right, so let's keep the good times rolling. Now we're graduated to high school. And let's look at our Thunderbird world and let's invite up another Steve, Stephen Mulvihill. Mr. Mulvihill is a dedicated leader that goes above and beyond to meet the needs of his students and the Yucaipa High campus. His enthusiasm, love, and passion for teaching has enabled him to positively impact the lives of our Thunderbirds with special needs. Mr. Mulvihill does not work or serve for awards or accolades, but we're going to give you one tonight. He has mastered the elusive art of being firm but fair, having rules in maintaining relationships. He deeply cares for his students and works to support their development. He strikes a wonderful balance supporting the acquisition of content knowledge, social emotional development, employability skills, and the attainment of academic credits towards graduation. When Mr. Mulvihill is not in the classroom, he's contributing to our campus in other ways. He's a co-department chair and he even works closely with his counterpart to develop the special education rosters for each member of our team. In addition to all that he does for our special education group, he's also a member of the coaching staff for our football team. It is with complete confidence and pride that we name Mr. Steve Mulvihill as this year's Yucaipa High Teacher of the Year. we have 3 high schools in our district, and next up, a Panther, Green Valley High School, Jessica Lingenfelter. So Green Valley's Teacher of the Year is Jessica Lingenfelter. Mrs. Lingenfelter is an effective teacher of English who, part of a formidable team, helped to raise English language arts SBAC scores for our site. Jessica has taken on many duties on campus, so keep track. Here we go. She does Panther Link Crew, Kindness Week, Red Ribbon Week, Dr. Seuss Week, and Positive Behavior Supports. She teaches our academic language development class and conducts LCAP testing. Her students manage our student store and support thematic team building spirit weeks on campus. She has demonstrated leadership, commitment, professionalism, all while having a positive and cheerful attitude. All of her work helps to create an inclusive and responsive school culture at Green Valley. Jessica is an awesome educator looking to bring more to our collective mission and to our students. Her hard work and dedication is an inspiration. Thank you, Jessica, for all that you do. Let's go on to Oakview High School, and the teacher leader there is Shane Butte-Beckler. All right. Notice he's wearing purple, which are the high school colors. Good job, Oakview. And a balloon. Rock. So Shane is an outstanding educator and teacher leader at Oakview. He's formed a strong connection with our students because of his calm, compassionate demeanor. Shane is highly skilled at keeping his students engaged in the classroom by connecting current global events to the social studies curriculum. This year, Shane has been the teacher leader on 4 extracurricular events. He took his Friday Night Live leadership students to the Friday Night Live Youth Summit in Anaheim, social studies students to the Museum of Tolerance in Los Angeles, and 3 outstanding students to represent Oakview at the San Bernardino County Youth Council. And then he also took his Friday Night Live students on a walking field trip to provide local merchants in Yucaipa with facts on how to prevent underage gambling. Oakview High School is proud to recognize Shane as our 2022-2023 Teacher of the Year. Congratulations, Shane. All right. So we have an adult school on campus, and let's invite up Susanna Ramirez, Teacher of the Year. So Susanna Ramirez has always been committed to helping her students grow, and this year is no exception. As our lead English as a second language teacher, her desire to help and support students extends beyond her classroom and beyond the ESL department. It has impacted our whole school. Susanna took the lead in organizing staff and student volunteers to create and enter a float in the Yucaipa Christmas Parade, giving our school greater community exposure. She provides support to teachers who are new to ESL and shows them effective ways to use student data to adjust their lessons to target identified needs. She has piloted a virtual ESL intervention that resulted in greater gains for her students, helping them get closer to achieving their goals. Susanna's student-centered approach makes Yucaipa Adult School a place where every student knows they are loved and where every student knows they are supported as they seek to better their lives. Thank you, Susanna, for all that you do. All right, we're going to take this Kodak moment. Mr. Bradley, if you want to corral the cats.
Absolutely.
And folks, if you want to come up with Mr. Bradley has it organized to take a quick snap, you're definitely encouraged to do that.
Right. Definitely Steve and Shane on the ends. But Rich, you just go straight to the center right in front of the board members. You and Paul can be like, you guys. They gotta put rabbit ears. All right. Mike, but teachers go one step back.
Right, 1, 2, 3.
Hey guys, stay for a second so we can get more shots.
Your people are.
1, 2, 3.
Stay. Remember when you were in elementary school, when you had to wait till mom took your picture? We good?
Few more. I guess.
Up, going. Okay, going once, here we go. All right, let's give them a huge round of applause. Okay, go back. Well deserved. Great.
I got back. Thank you.
Indio and Mono counties, science and engineer fairs.
Recognize our Ridgeview Elementary student, Carter Sliney. If you can please come up to the podium. Help you, if you can come over here. If you could talk a little bit about what your science and engineering fair project was about.
Hello.
Hello.
So I did, how the video games, how it affects your blood pressure and your pulse. And some were higher than the other.
Which games created a higher heart rate? Mario Kart. Really? What were some of the games that you chose?
Mario Kart, Pac-Man,
Fortnite. And Mario Kart beat out Fortnite, really?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So did you test just on yourself or did you have multiple people? Very good.
Any other questions for Carter? Okay, Carter, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations on your.
Carter, that was pretty brilliant to come up with a plan where you had to play video games. Good job.
Okay.
All right.
Come on up.
Someday you can say, I need your
Congratulations.
You are
All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, congratulations.
And we understand that Carter will be continuing on in competition. Is that correct, Carter?
He actually already did.
Ah.
Held it right before spring break.
Oh, okay. All right. Great.
Unfortunately, they don't let fifth graders carry on.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Next
Well,
year.
he would have.
Yes, he would.
Thank you. Okay, now we're moving on to educational services. Project Lead the Way Distinguished Lunch School. We have a couple of them. Dr. Anderson.
I would like to invite up our STEAM teachers, please, from Wildwood and also Chapman High School.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for recognizing us tonight. We, at our site, in order to get this award, every grade level at the site had to complete a Project Lead the Way module. So at both our sites, all grade levels TK through 5th have finished at least one Project Lead the Way module. So it's pretty awesome for both of our sites to have so many kids have that opportunity. Thank you.
I just want to give thanks to our supportive admins and our supportive teachers that we have for allowing us to collaborate with them and work towards accomplishing this PLTW roller coaster of wonderfulness that we have. So we do experiments with the kids. They learn about hands-on science concepts. These kids really get involved in science, and they not only make it something that they're learning, they make it something that they love for life. And that's what we're here for. And so I just really appreciate everybody's support, and we continue and hope that we get to do this program forever.
Okay, thank you for that. Now we're moving on to 5.05, the recognition of our student board member, Noah. I think that Ms. Binks is going to do this. Yeah, you have to get up there.
No, it's not too much. Noah, we are so excited that you have been our student board member, and you've done an amazing job. Noah is the kind of board member that went over the agenda one time with me and said, I got it. I know what it is. I don't need extra support. That's because not only does he study, but he applies himself to everything he does 100%. Had an opportunity to see Noah interact with his little sister at Valley Elementary. And not only has he been a leader of students on this Board of Education, but he's a leader every single day. And he goes onto that Valley campus and he supports his sibling, but he also supports all of the other students there. And I watched you just talk to the kids and share with them all the things that they could become and the things that they could do to be successful. So when people aren't watching, or if you don't know that people are watching, you're still know as a leader. And we so appreciate your service on this board this year. And like I said, he didn't need any help at all. And he researched his own items and was able to vote and do a great job. And so Noah, we know that we are sending you off to college. And you want to tell them where you're going?
I'll be attending University of Redlands under their Hunsaker program. The Hunsaker program is a prestigious program where about 8, maybe sometimes more, sometimes less, give or take, students are chosen to be granted a full-ride scholarship for 4 years that covers all expenses, tuition, housing.
One thing we didn't think it would cover is Redlands U of R swag. So just in case it didn't, we'd like to present you with a basket of U of R swag. Things that you might be able to use when you're in the dorms. And we want you not to forget about us. When you need something, we want you to make sure you can reach back out to us. And we'll talk about life lessons in the dorms later, but we have a certificate for you. I'm going to invite the board to come up. We want to celebrate you just a moment. I know you don't want to be celebrated, but we are so grateful for the service you've given this board. And I know that the school is already looking for someone to fill your shoes, and I'm hoping that you would do me the great favor of mentoring them before you go. Thank you. Come on in. All right, Noah.
One, two, six. Right. Now we're moving on to public comment, and we do have a few people who want to speak. I would remind you, if you're talking on the board agenda item, you do have 5 minutes. If it's a non-agenda item, you have 3 minutes. We do have a timer, so just try and get your thoughts together before you come up here, so you can say everything that you want to say. We're going to start with Heather Leon. Welcome, Heather.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you for allowing me to come up here and speak to you on dual enrollment. I know it is not currently on the board agenda, but as it is something that the state not only mandates, but it has the potential to be very positive for our students, I'd like you to at least be able to hear some of this and have a chance to continue as we look at this ongoing. I happen to have had the opportunity this year to be a teacher that shares a room with a dual enrollment teacher. For those that are Hamilton fans, I've been in the room where it happens. And I would like to share with you some concerns and some questions that I'm hoping that you'll have a chance to address as we continue this conversation. It will be ongoing. When we use college professors in the dual enrollment program, they come with a very different focus. College professors are trained to be subject matter focused. That's what their job is, it's how they're trained. And I think it's appropriate that we got a chance to see all of these amazing teachers up here, because your teachers here in the district, the high school teachers, they're student-centered focus. That's what we're trained in. And because of that, our training is to help our students best achieve, best engage, best learn the material that we've been assigned to teach. And in order to do this, and you already saw a huge number of things that your teachers do, but just at the high school level, we participate by bringing social emotional learning into the class. We are asked to include PBIS or other classroom management techniques to support our students. We're responsible for including our EL population adequately and to differentiate for their needs, as well as being asked to include our special education students and make sure that we're accommodating those needs as well. Your high school teachers are required to go to 504 meetings, IEP meetings, and student intervention team meetings, all of which would have a design to change, modify, accommodate, make that material accessible for all students, not just a handful. Our duties require us to be contacting parents, phone, email, support. We want that home and that school collaboration, in particular for seniors, to help our seniors graduate. That's obviously a primary goal. We're supposed to be and hopefully achieving a school community. It's not just that they attend school, but that we have the minimum days, the rallies, the scheduling, all the activities that we're involved in. I'm currently dressed for Powder Puff. And we're asked to hopefully design behavior management and classroom environment that is supposed to support the whole school culture, because we're supposed to be supporting the whole student. College professors are not asked to do this. It's not their responsibility. And in a dual enrollment program, our students and our parents actually sign a waiver that says they're not going to receive any of those services. That actually creates an inequality and helps to remove them from the school environment rather than including them better in the school environment. In addition, there's some issues that are not related directly to our student welfare, but they still impact the school. When the college does not have class days, there's about 2 weeks at the beginning of the semester and about another 5 or 6 days at the end of the semester. Who's responsible for those students? Does the college pay for the sub? Does the high school pay for the sub? How do we acquire that? There's early release times. There's non-supervised days. In a college class, they can simply put a sign on the door that says, you don't have class today. We obviously can't do that at the high school. It's not part of our standard protocol. I'm not trying to downplay our college professors. They have a different job. Their job is specific to their environment, but I think the difference matters. And as we continue to incorporate dual enrollment, which is what we should be doing, it's beneficial to our students, I'm hoping you will ask those questions. Talk to the people that are involved in this particular issue. Consider how to best meet the needs and support all of our students. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Moore. Ashley Hernandez. Welcome, Ms. Hernandez.
Good evening, Superintendent Binks and Board. I would like to bring a couple items to your, hold on. I'd like to bring to your attention some concerns I have as a parent. I have 2 students, one who's currently a senior at UCAP High School, one at Parkview, 8th grader going into UCAP High School next year. My concerns are solely for the high school. The counselors. Even though we saw a great presentation, as a senior parent, I'm truly disappointed in the majority of the conversations that I've had with my son and other students regarding interactions or lack thereof, failure to respond to emails in a timely manner. Students have to schedule their meetings with their counselors via email. However, I've had to help multiple seniors rewrite their emails, pretty much begging for the attention and for them to respond. A senior should be able to have access to their counselor as well as any student. However, when a senior is getting a scared straight moment and yet they found out that the class that they needed that is going to cause them to possibly not graduate wasn't necessarily needed is a concern. I feel that even though it is a new counseling team, I think there needs to be some more training. 2, the drug issues, alcohol use, and fires at the school. I'm very concerned to send my naive 14-year-old son, who's a straight A student at Parkview, to the high school. He's not like my current son, who's a senior, who has the tools to be able to see what's going around. I'm worried for him. I'm worried that the things that he'll be exposed to at the school could cause additional anxiety issues that he has, like most kids, unfortunately, from COVID, has experienced. My son wants to be able to play sports at UCAP High School, along with being a part of the APA team. And honestly, those are the only 2 reasons why I might consider leaving my son there and not take him to San Diego City at one of my high schools. The amount of the incidents without proper communication to parents is awful. Kids are doing drugs daily on campus. Kids are drinking in parking lots and crashing their cars during school dances. I thought our kids are supposed to be safe at our schools. We need to have true campus security officers, ones that are not friends with students on campus,
ones that truly hold expectations and have proper training. For instance, Thursday, a fight broke out, and of course, students are watching and recording. So my gossip senior, I got to see those videos. Only one campus monitor tried to end the fight, which I believe that girl, one of the students ended up with a broken nose, while the other two were standing there watching. On the same day, you have a student, a female, in the bathroom, her vape pen explodes, and a fire goes out. But yet, it was just a false alarm, correct? Multiple false alarms, I believe 4, if I'm not mistaken. A student had to report it to a teacher who had a contact to pipe a fire, and then actually he took the fire extinguisher to set it out. For it to be a false alarm, I have concerns. There's ed codes as well as San Bernardino County fire requirements that all schools, depending on the level, must do fire drills as well as other drills. I can tell you right now that my student that's at the high school can't remember the last time that they have done one and even evacuated except for the Great Shakeout. Why is this? Thank you for your time. I am requesting feedback on the following items. Counseling, I'd like to know how they're really supposed to be meeting with students. How is Pipe High School going to be working on preventing the drug use and drinking on campus? How Pipe High School can get trained campus officers. My district has a great system that's San Bernardino City, and provide additional training to the ones that are currently in that role. And finally, I would like, and I believe we have to do a public request record, but I'd like to see the fire drills that have actually taken place.
Thank you, Mr. Nance. Lauren Hernandez. Welcome.
Hi, it's been a long time. I've been out on medical leave. I came out to support my daughter and give her estimates, but this horrifies me that this is still going on at the high school. As you know, I'm a crazy bathroom lady, and by the people here, and it's still happening. They may be cleaner, they're still closing bathrooms, kids are not having access to things. They had the water shut off at the gym bathroom for multiple hours, and they were disgusting because I went in there that night for basketball practice. Gross. No one was notified. Teachers were asking for water to be turned back on, and they're, oh, we'll take care of it in a minute. Well, meanwhile, the doors are open. Kids are going to go to the bathroom, go to flush, drill there. So the bathrooms are still disgusting. I gave grades multiple times when I spoke with the different administrators that it really bothers me that today they're still baking, they're still doing drugs. I haven't heard about sex in the bathroom anymore, but it's disgusting, it's unhealthy, and it's unsafe.
Thank you, ma'am. Tom Heron. Welcome, Tom.
Thank you. All right, good evening, President Snelling, Superintendent Beeks, Cabinet, and Board of Education. My name is Tom Heron, President of Private College Executives. This past week, we've had a great time to celebrate all the incredible team members who truly make YCJUSD a great place to work. Throughout our state, we have recently celebrated school nurses, teachers, counselors, administrative professionals, and many more. Today, by the way, is Educational Support Professionals Day. These paraprofessionals make up 1/3 of the entire education workforce, and as we know, our schools could not run without them. Last Friday, we celebrated School Communicators Day, and I want to just take a moment and publicly thank Lance, our district communications specialist. He does an incredible job to keep our students, staff, families, and communities informed, especially during some of the most challenging times we've experienced this last year. By maintaining clear, concise communication, he has been essential to keeping our schools safe and allow us to focus on what we do best, caring for and educating our students. Last week, I reached out to members of YCA and asked them to submit a quick shout out about a certificated educator in our district. I received a large number of them, and I've already shared those with my members. Too many to share tonight, unfortunately. I do, however, want to take a minute to highlight just a few examples of how our incredible educators make a difference in the lives of our students. Because I can only share a small fraction of them tonight. I'm omitting the names, but YCA has shared them all with our members, including the ones that are too humble to be recognized publicly. So here's some examples. She's an important advocate for all of our students. She creates a safe and supportive environment for everyone. She goes above and beyond, is another teacher. She goes above and beyond for all of her students. The reading lounge she created is amazing, and she puts her heart into her teaching. She is a wonderful podmate, kind, supportive, funny, and totally realist too. Another one, he is supportive of his students and colleagues alike. He cares about all his students, and it shows in his willingness to share ideas as well as try new things. I appreciate that he lifts up others with his kindness. Another one, the talent show is my favorite, absolute favorite Thunderbird tradition. I look forward to it every year. Next, she goes above and beyond to advocate for her students and the TK teachers across the district. Finally, he wears a number of hats at our school, and he manages to interchange them with ease. He is constantly learning and bringing new programs into the site. You're welcome to email me and I can send you that entire list. However, tonight, I want to take a moment to thank you for supporting our educators who create an environment where students want to learn, are actively engaged, and feel safe and loved. Have a good night. Thank you, Tom.
Now we're moving on to 7.01 student board member report. Noah.
Okay, hello. So we're getting close to the end of the year, so everything's kind of starting to slow down. We have some sports generally closing out, so stuff like volleyball, softball, their seasons are kind of coming to an end. They're making their way through. Recently, we had our theater production newsies that occurred, and that was a big success. We had a lot of turnout for that. Currently going on right now, we have Fine Arts Week, where we have multiple different students that engage in the fine arts at UConn High School performing during the lunches, both A and B. And then notably, we have all prom, grad night, class night, and senior awards nights, as well as some individual ones for other organizations and academies on campus, all occurring in this week and the coming weeks. In our student body at UConn High School, we are currently working to get a new president as well as a vice president and new elected commissioners for the student body. This weekend, we have UConn High School's annual Night in the Trenches, which is a World War I reenactment that the AP history classes, both the sophomore class and the junior class, take part in. And then lastly, we have finals week and the end of the year graduation.
All right. Exciting time of year for a kid in high school, senior. Definitely. Thank you, Noah. 8.01 Cry Rock report. Bannister.
Okay, I have quite a few things because it's the end of the year for Cry Rock as well. I wanted to give a shout out to the Auto Tech program at Yucaipa High School. Mike Rosano is the teacher there. We sent 40 high school students, 40 high school students completed their Auto Tech registration for articulation with Riverside City College to earn college credits for those courses. We had 22 high school certificated medical assistant students pass their NCCT exam. Yucaipa High School emergency medical response teacher, Ashley Urain, had her students complete a CPR training, and they're now able to, so she's now able to teach and certify graduating students. Yucaipa High School automotive, also teacher attended an 8-hour EV and hybrid safety training, which will help him teach his students about that new technology in the automotive industry. I want to point out that CRYROP is going to be sponsoring a career discovery camp for middle school students in June. There's 2 different weeks that it's going on, and the school district has that information. And then lastly, CRYROP had their Evening of Excellence, and we celebrated several students from high school and our other schools. So outstanding student awards went to Mr. Nunez at Green Valley High School, Isis Cheatwood Vaughn at Mesa Middle School. At Oakview, it was Derek Bakoinen. At Parkview, Margaret Chronister. And at Yucaipa High School, Ashton Augusto, Blake Bailey, Madeline Gomez, Kimberly Gonzalez, Venice Guizar, Kylie Tennyson, and Emmanuel Arena. We had, Prime has student ambassadors, and they gave awards to the Outstanding Student Ambassador Awards went to Marlene Gutierrez from Yucaipa High School. There were some scholarship recipients. Corvettes West and Tom Bell Chevrolet gave a scholarship to Benjamin Contreras of Yucaipa High School. The Hernandez Mejia family gave a scholarship to Madeline Gomez at Yucaipa High School. And Juliet Barrett Memorial Scholarship went to Danica Menares at Yucaipa and Roxanne Williams. So I would just congratulate all the students who excelled in their programs through our CTE program at Cry Rock.
They got some sizable checks. They weren't
They
small
did.
amounts.
They gave away over $21,000.
Yeah.
So there were some nice checks there.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Bannister. It was a good night. So now we're moving on to the discussion action session. 9.01, this is the second review of a board bylaw about meetings and notices. I believe it primarily talks about teleconferencing, some movements related to that. Do I have a motion to consider 9.01?
I'll move to approve.
Got a motion by board member Bob Miller. We have a second.
Second.
Second by board member Debbie Miller. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I vote aye. Passes unanimously. Second review is from changes for closed session bylaw. I have a motion to approve.
Move approval.
Motion by board member Bannister. I have a second. Second by board member Coe. Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries unanimously. 9.03 is a second review of another board law, board bylaw, excuse me. We have a motion for approval.
Move approval.
I have a motion by board member Bannister. I have a second.
Second.
Second by board member Debbie Miller. Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries unanimously. This is the second review of a board bylaw regarding a process for a board member to resign from the board. We have a motion for approval.
I'll move to approve.
I have a motion by board member Bob Miller. All second. Any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. The motion carries unanimously. 9.05 is the superintendent, is the second review of board bylaw related to new board member orientation. Do I have a motion for approval? I have a motion by board member Coe. A second. A second by board member Bannister. Questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries unanimously. Okay. Let's move on to business services. This is for a purchase of two-way radios using a ultra high frequency. Have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Who was that? I'm sorry, Debbie. Debbie Miller, I have a second.
I'll second.
Okay, second by board member Bannister. Questions or comments? Board member Bob Miller.
Thank you, President Stelling. These UHFs are to replace the existing, we have a contract with these folks already, right? And it's to replace the existing ones or 60 new ones.
So thank you, Mr. Miller. These are 60 new radios. We're replacing them in stages. So these radios are radios that our maintenance and operations use, our administration. So they're part of our replacement plan. At future board meetings, you'll see additional radios come forth, specifically bidding out radios for classrooms. So this is the first step in our transition to UHF radios.
And just a reminder of the funding mechanism for that, please.
Sure, the board committed $1 million to safety, to improve safety at our schools. So this is part of the board committed funds that were committed last September by the Board of Education.
Thank you, Dr.
Okay, I believe I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries unanimously. Next one is 9.07. This is the summer feeding program agreement with the city of Calamasa. Do I have a motion for approval? Have a motion by Board Member Coe, a second. Second by Board Member Bob Miller. Any questions or comments regarding 9.07? Okay, this is a good thing. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. This one is the agreement with the city of Yucaipa. Do I have a motion for approval? By Board Member Coe, second.
Second.
Second by Board Member Debbie Miller. Comments related to this one? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, passes unanimously. Now we're moving on to 9.09, business services. This is an exterior paint project for Leaders Charter School. Do I have a motion for approval?
Move approval.
I have a motion by Board Member Bannister. I have a second.
Second.
Have a second. Board Member Debbie Miller. Any questions or comments? Go ahead.
I have a question, Board President. Thank you. Dr. Freeman, this is our responsibility to paint inland leaders. It's part of the agreement of having on our school property that we have to provide the maintenance and upkeep. So the painting project is for that, from what I understand.
That's correct. Part of our lease agreement with Leaders Charter School is to maintain the buildings and facilities at that school. And so when we went out and did a facility needs assessment across the district of all our facilities a few years ago, and Leaders, the property on California Street, where Leaders Charter School is now, is our highest need school. And our plan is to come forth every summer with 1 to 2 schools going down that priority list.
And just reconfirm the funding mechanism for maintenance.
Sure, so that's deferred maintenance. We have set aside money. The Board of Education has set aside money specifically for maintaining our facilities in the past. So the board has committed that every year.
Thank you, Dr.
When you take a look at the schools around the city that we, for one, I think that's great. We're gonna make our city look better because pretty much everybody in the entire city sees it, uses it, all of those things. When we do that, do we take into consideration the colors of the schools? For example, Dunlap is green, but they have dolphins and their colors aren't green. So do the site principals, site administration, get to choose those colors? How does that work?
Yeah, absolutely. We typically provide several color options to the schools. We also want to have, we have some standards around that. And so we have some color standards, but absolutely we take into account what the school choices are.
I think that's great because I think we need to be a prior city and make it nicer, look good, feel good.
Okay, any more questions or comments? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries unanimously. 9.10 is the Yucaipa Adult School Modular Building. Do I have a motion for approval?
Move approval.
I have a motion by Board Member Bannister. I'll second the item. Any questions for Dr. Freeman related to this? This is a new modular, correct, Dr. Freeman?
Correct, Mr. Snellings. This is a modular that would be at Yucaipa Adult School. Mr. Carter secured some adult school funding for this project. So no cost to the district, but it will allow him to add additional programs to the school site.
Okay, this is just the initial plan, right?
Correct. So we would come forward to the board with, correct.
Okay, good enough. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. Now we're moving on to other business services. This is the Yucaipa High School Athletic Training Room and Weight Room. Approval.
I move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Board Member Bob Miller and a second by Board Member Kathy Coach. Any questions? I believe this is going to be moved somewhere between closer to the fields, I'm hearing.
Yeah, the plan design, this is for just plan design,
Yeah.
this item, but we're looking at the current training room is a 15 by 15 area, not adequate for the students. So this will be moving the training room to the current weight room and the weight room being moved to a modular building next to the visitor side seats.
That's a great idea. Thank you. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion unanimously. Number 9.13 is a flooring project at Dunlap Elementary School and Wildwood Elementary School. Do I have a motion for approval?
Move approval.
Oh,
Sorry.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
I got it. Okay, we're gonna go back to 9.12. This is a piggyback, legal bids and contracts. This is for work, sorry. Okay, do I have a motion for approval of 9.12, the piggyback on legal bids and contracts?
Move approval.
I have a motion by Board Member Bannister and a second by Board Member Coat. Any questions or concerns? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. Now let's get on to the flooring at Dunlap Elementary School, just Wildwood Elementary School. Do I have a motion for approval?
Move to approve.
A motion by Board Member Bob Miller,
I'll second.
second by Board Member Bannister. Any questions or comments related to this? This is a good thing too. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. 9.14 is the agreement for the 23-24 school year. The master agreement with the Colton Redlands Ukaipa ROP. Do I have a motion for approval of the master agreement?
Move approval. Second.
Got a motion by Board Member Bannister and a second by Board Member Coe. Any questions related to the master agreement? I think it's pretty same through the years. Some amendments here and there. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. 9.15. This is the continuance of the hatching results program. We saw the presentation today by our counselors. We have a motion for approval.
Move approval.
Have a motion by Board Member Bannister. I'll second the item. Any questions related to this? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. We're moving on to 9.16, educational services, paper education company. I have a motion for approval.
So moved.
I have a motion by Board Member Debbie Miller. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Board Member Bannister. Any questions related to this? I have a question.
Yes.
If you don't mind. You have a question?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna, Dr. Anderson, I know that we have several, I know we're getting ready for next school year, and I understand this. Because you're recommending that we purchase several programs for teachers and for students. In the process of determining not just this one, but the other ones, to what extent are teachers involved in verifying that what we're recommending is something that's valuable to them? How does that process work?
Thank you. President Stallings, on the different curriculum and instruction supports, we have different teacher teams throughout the school year that we meet with, our team in educational services, that we not only get feedback on the programs or instructional supports, but we also do progress monitoring just to see how effective those pieces are. So we not only get feedback throughout the school year, but then we also, for pieces like the paper, we did student and teacher surveys just to look at the effectiveness of it and to see the rate and frequency at which it's being used.
So we can gauge the usage of the program too.
Correct. We do a piece where we not only get teacher and paraprofessional feedback and administrator feedback, but we also look at utilization reports because we need to look at not only the frequency, but evaluate how those pieces are being used.
Okay, and this particular one is being funded out of an A through G completion improvement grant. Is that one that's on some type of a time, it's time sensitive?
Yes, next year will be the last year of the grant funding.
Okay, that's fine. You got it? Okay. Go ahead, David.
I was really excited about this program. I thought it was great, especially I'm just to algebra. So if my kids needed help, there was no way. And just to be able to access that. So I'm hoping maybe it gets used more this year and that we find maybe advertise it more. I don't know, but I really like this program. I don't know what the survey outcomes were.
Thank you, Mrs. Miller. Part of that also was the feedback we got from our students overall was they would use it more. They liked it. but they would use it more if they had more training.
Ah.
So part of that is we're looking at training, not only, I know Mr. Kirkland did a great job in rolling it out with our teachers too, but we're looking at maybe providing that additional support again on not only accessing it, but how they can utilize it.
That
We'll give you the phone number, Debbie.
Yeah, I know, so I can learn fast algebra.
I just want to comment.
Okay, go ahead.
Overall, like, yeah, I think like overall in terms of advertising, I know all the Chromebooks at the high school have like a little like pop up in the corner of the screen for paper. However, yeah, I agree with the fact that I think to promote its usage, we need just more like training for the students and to know that like this is a tool that they have access to and just the amount of like benefit that it can bring to them when they do use it. So that's very much I have used it, yes.
Well, very good. Thank you, Noah. Okay, we have a motion and a second for Educational Services Paper Education Company. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries unanimously. The next one is a renewal of our license for the ARIES program, which is our student information system. Do I have a motion for approval? Move approval. Have a motion by Board Member Bannister, to second.
Second.
Second by Board Member Debbie Miller. Any questions or comments? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I vote aye. Motion carries unanimously. We're on to Nearpod, which is another online platform. I have a motion for approval of the purchase of Nearpod.
Move approval. Second.
I have a motion by Board Member Bannister and a second by Board Member Coe. Any questions for Dr. Anderson? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries. 9.19 is educational services, the CDW-G /web root. That's exciting. Endpoint protection. Okay. Actually, this is something I'm sure that we need. This is to stop malware threats. So do I have a motion for approval? We got a motion by Board Member Coe and a second.
Second.
Second by Board Member Debbie Miller. Any questions related to the program? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I vote aye. Motion passes unanimously. Okay, we have more excitement with the N2Y LLC News to Use Symbol Sticks Prime. The motion for approval.
Yes.
Have a motion by Board Member Coe. We have a second.
I'll second that.
Any questions or comments? And I believe this is exclusively for our special education students, correct? Awesome, okay. All those in favor, I have a motion in a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries unanimously. 9.21 is an approval for the renewal of services provided by Dreambox online math and reading program. Do I have a motion for approval?
Second.
Board Member Coe, and then a second by Board Member Bannister. Any questions for Dr. Anderson related to this? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries unanimously. 9.22 is IXL Learning. Approve the renewal of services provided by them. Do I have a motion for approval?
Move approval.
Second.
Second.
I have a second by Board Member Coe. Motion by Board Member Bannister, sorry. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries unanimously. Now we're going on to 9.23, Zern Math. I have a motion for approval.
So moved.
I have a motion by Board Member Debbie Miller, second. Second by Board Member Bannister. Any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries. Now we're going on to 9.24. Good. 9.24, this is the request to continue with InterQuest detection canines. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion by Board Member Debbie Miller and a second by Board Member Coe. Any questions? From the board, Chief, or sorry, Chief Miller. Thank you.
Thanks, I appreciate that. with this K-9 detection service, there's only a certain number a year we can get. Do I understand that right? Or will they expand the contract over the year if we need more use?
So if we needed more throughout the year, they would add additional visits to that. Part of when it says 58 full day visits, there can be 2 to 3 sites within that one day. It just depends on how the visit goes and how long that it might take. So the most frequency was 2 visits per the full day. So last year, I'll give an example, we had 159 total visits just in this last year. If that makes sense. But yes, we can always add additional if that's something that we're looking at too. Or
And I guess the superintendent, I'd ask, and then what's the data we're drawing from that? Is that a report that we get annually, or how are we doing that?
We can give you a report of the number of hits that we're going on if you would like. Typically, it goes through Dr. Lena Felter's office in educational services for child welfare and attendance, but we can give a report back to the board. And I think it was just as we came back from COVID, we upped the visits from about 30 to the current amount we have now.
If I remember correctly, Interquest is pretty good about providing reports to districts too. They've been around. Yeah, okay, so that shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, okay, that's good. Get that information. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. 9.25, if you remember, was removed from the agenda, so we're gonna address that at a different time. 9.26 is the proposed contract and amendments with the California School Employees Association and its chapter 209. Do I have a motion to accept? I have a motion by board member Bannister. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by board member. Just exactly right.
President says it's a discussion at 7:05.
Oh, so what's that mean?
You're discussing it this evening and receiving it.
So we don't have to vote, correct?
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. Well, we have a motion and a second to accept it, so I think we can vote on it. It's not gonna, we're not gonna get arrested. All those in favor say aye. Chair votes aye. And the next one is actually the Board of Education's proposed contract amendments. Any questions or concerns about that? So we don't have to vote on that one?
President Snelling, it's 9.267 and 9.28.
Okay. Gotcha. 9.28 is, I believe, the district's proposed contract amendments with YCEA. Any comments or questions about that? Board is seeing these items? Can't see them.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
President Stelling, Jim, just so the public can understand the word accepting, and then we move forward. Can you give us a nutshell of what that means for the public?
Happy to do that, Member Miller. So per the state law, the board would accept these information letters, and then they're made available to the public for the next month. Will actually be posted here at the district office and at our various school sites. The public has the opportunity to review them and perhaps bring comments to the board at the next board meeting. And then at a future board meeting, the board would take action on to accept them.
Thank you, Mr. Stoltz.
You're welcome.
Okay, any more questions for Jim? Okay, thank you. All right. Now we're moving on to 9.29. This is an approval of classified management confidential and certificate administration salary adjustment. Do I have a motion for approval?
Move approval.
I have a motion by board member Bannister. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by board member Coat. Any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Passes unanimously. Now we're going on to 9.30. This is Engage University Consultant Agreement and Training Contract. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
A motion by board member Debbie Miller. Is there a second? Second by board member Coat. Any questions related to this? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries unanimously. Now we're moving on to consent items. Is there anything that a board member would like to consider separately? I would like to point out on gifts to the district, there are many gifts, but Bogue Engineering provided $77,400 in sporting equipment to the district. And I thought that was something that was worth mentioning. That's a good gift and contribution. Any others that people want? Okay. So do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar as it's been presented?
Move to approve.
Motion by board member Bob Miller, second.
Second.
You guys want to arm wrestle over there? Second by board member Debbie Miller. All those in favor, say aye. And the chair votes aye, motion carries. Okay. Now we're at the information proposal session. This is an administrative regulation related to financial reports and accountability that have to do with lease and GASB requirements. So are we voting on this?
No, information.
This is information only, okay. So do you want questions about it, or?
If you like.
Anybody have any questions? You don't have any GASB accounting questions burning in your head right now?
No. It's just a regular business.
Okay. All right, so we don't have to do anything more. All right. Additional administrative information, Ms. Binks.
Well, I think that we can tell by the evening tonight, the recognition season, it has arrived in full force. And so the board has received opportunities to attend different awards and honors assemblies at all of our schools. Of course, the culminating activity of the graduations and promotions. And so we will have you sign up for those. We're getting our caps and gowns ready to go. And I know that the principals are busy working on their programs and the teachers are working on their grading. And so everybody's very, very busy, but the buzz is very exciting. And so I wanted to make sure that that the pace is from here on, it's a fast sprint. So we're going to be doing quite a few things. And then also I wanted to just share that we have taken the opportunity this past week to meet as a leadership team to focus on what the board had done for their board goals and answering the questions.
The consensus workshop.
The consensus workshop, how we demonstrate that we're making a difference and demonstrating what we do for children. And so we met as a leadership team and we had the opportunity to do that as well. The next step would be to reach out to our presidents from our bargaining units to see if they would like to do some fashion of participation in that as well, whether it be their leadership teams or rep councils or put it out to the population in our sites. And then what we would like to do is do a strategic plan with goals, our goals and actions aligned with what the board had done. And so it takes a little bit of time, but I appreciated, again, Emma coming out and leading us through the workshop. And so I've shared with you what the leadership team came up with, and then we'll get you the next pieces to that.
Great. Yeah. Good. Mr. Stoll, anything? Dr. Anderson?
Just briefly, I just wanted to recognize our student services team, who was pretty amazing in gathering our crisis response teams last week. We appreciate Mrs. Burkhart and Dr. Lingenfelter also, but along with our counselors and psychologists. Thank you very much.
Dr. Green?
Thank you. A few months ago, the board approved Adam Johnson as our new maintenance manager, and he came with a plan to really help transform the maintenance department. And we are so excited that part of that plan, item 1017 of the personnel actions, Doug Decker, who's in the audience this evening, who has been a painter in our district for several years, is one of our new general leads. And so we're excited to have him help lead that department. Doug is a wealth of knowledge, knows the district inside and out, and will be a great team member. We look forward to great things from Doug in the future.
Oh, great. Congratulations. Okay. Now we're moving on to board member comments. Board member Bob Miller.
Thank you, board member, or board president Snellings. Had the opportunity on May 7th to go to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Teacher of Excellence Awards. They put on a beautiful ceremony the students have picked the teachers that they felt were just life-changing for them. And I want to recognize Mr. David Espinoza from Yucaipa High was an award winner, and Mrs. Morgan Paul was from Yucaipa High School award winners. And I want to thank Dr. Anderson for going with me, and I just thought it was a nice evening. And it's great when the community recognizes our teachers for what they're doing out there, just and to see them with their families there being, awarded, and their kids can see their dad or mom, get an award. It was really special. Also, great to see a lot of the schools out at the cancer walk that we had earlier. The schools really did a good job getting out there and supporting the cancer walk at the high school. That was fun, walking around, and you do more of that. And then, unfortunately, but I was really proud of our varsity baseball team being CBL champs. Of course, unfortunately, we ran into a buzzsaw at Jay Cerna, that team out of Orange County, or Sarah, and beat us 7-0. But, I think the team did a really good job. A lot of our players were awarded, not only for league, but just doing a great job. Just bats didn't come alive that day. But they should be real proud of their accomplishments. It was fun to watch the game. Why I wanted to mention that, all sports, proud of everybody they do in all the sports, but it was neat because our city actually City of Yucaipa put out some social media to get our community to come see that game. And they put out a nice Instagram and most of the social media they use. And there was a lot of people just from the city that went to the game. Not just normal, folks from school that had the interest, or parents or grandparents. So it gave a really good community feel to support our baseball team. We got a great program, great school. It was good to see. Just a bad outcome, but I'm sure they'll be back next year fighting really hard for it, especially when we get this new weight room squared away. Right? So, thank you.
Board Member Debbie.
It's always nice to have all these recognitions. It just shows us again and again what an amazing district this is, and all the staff, teachers, all the admin, everybody serve the food, serve everything, all the services. It's just amazing district, and I just love being here, being part of it. Noah, I wrote a couple words that describe you to me, and I think everybody would agree that you're intelligent, articulate, but also very kind and very friendly. And those are all wonderful those are all wonderful characteristics of a successful and good human being, and that's you. And I'm so proud of you for getting in there, and I'm telling you, you gotta get in the dorms, you gotta experience it all. So congratulations, I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Board Member Bannis.
Yeah, absolutely no. You did it. You did all the hard work, and now go and reap the benefit of all of that. And I would echo, it's so nice to have all these celebrations. I love celebrating. We celebrate the kids, we celebrate our staff. It just makes it really, really wonderful. And I'm very proud of this. I was very proud that YC was able to get everybody to apply for those grants, and hopefully that will become more of a regular thing. They're really getting that program up and going. Yeah, that's good enough.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Yes, I got a chance to go to the prior route. The first time I got to go see, to celebrate all our students throughout. It was pretty amazing to see them and their families, and just kind of the togetherness of the entire program. So that was a great experience. I hope to visit it again. We have a great CCE program and private program. The swimmers actually did quite well this year. I believe that we had individual champions for the swim team. I don't think we had a team championship. We didn't get a chance to see the baseball, but softball also did quite well. They made it to CIF. Unfortunately, lost in the first round. And I got a chance to see the volleyball team do quite well. I think that's the quarterfinals or semifinals, but they did an amazing job of supporting this as well. Congratulations to all of our teachers. Thank you for everything you do. And we know we only need to recognize one per campus, but we know that everyone is amazing. So again, thank you. And I'm looking forward to all of the events that we get to go see, especially graduation, because my little brother is graduating. So hopefully I get a chance to see him. I hope he's on this.
Okay, thank you. No, I just want to repeat everybody's words. Thank you for being part of our team. We really enjoyed having you here and your contributions. You were always very eloquent, and I mean, Debbie said it better than I can say it right now. So I just, in the copy, she said you're really good. So thanks. Thank you. Appreciate that. Well, yeah. Maybe I'll talk to you about the dorms. Yeah. So the next time we meet, we will have completed the school year at our next meeting. And so I know that between now and then, there's a lot of activities and a lot of burdens on the backs of our teachers, our classified staff, and our administrators too. And I know it well, having done it for many years. So I just wish you all the best through that, and strength and in celebrating our schools and celebrating our kids. We started tonight with celebrations, and I'm really looking forward to being at our graduations and seeing all of our wonderful graduates walk across the stage. And so we are going to adjourn as a memoriam for one of our former employees. So I'm just going to read this. The Yucaipa Mesa Joint Unified School District Board of Education this day will adjourn in memory of Audrey McManus, who served as the lead custodian at Yucaipa High School and retired on May 1st, 2019. Audrey also served as a child nutrition worker 1 and custodian at Yucaipa Junior High School, and she passed away on April 23rd of this year. So we are adjourning this meeting in honor of Audrey and her contributions not only to our district, but to the community. So we are adjourned. And no close